So Sotheby's just sold a Ceratosaurus fossil in New York for over $30 million to a private owner in a scenario some people are calling Hunger Games-esque. So I had some questions, I did some Googling, and I want to talk about it. That being said, I'm not a news source. If I get something wrong, I'm sorry. But first, where did it come from? The Ceratosaurus was found in Wyoming, where it landed at a nonprofit archaeological museum in Utah. That museum sold it to a private fossil mounting company who mounted the fossil, and then they were the ones that sold it through Sotheby's. You might be asking, why would a museum sell to a private company? I personally can't speak for Mountain America Museum of Ancient Life at Thanksgiving Point, which, by the way, may I suggest an acronym? But I will say generally, at least in the USA, there are less museum grants in 2025, especially federal. And a nonprofit museum might be tax exempt, but they still have lights to keep on, payroll, equipment to buy, and in the grand scheme of things, they often have large collections that require upkeep. The question on a lot of people's minds is, does this mean that we're never going to see this Ceratosaurus again? No, it's not gone forever. It's very likely the dinosaur will be loaned to a museum. The person with $30 million burning a hole in their pocket has remained anonymous, but they have stated they intend to. So fingers crossed it's not going to be collecting coke dust in some evil villain's lair, which I know is what a lot of y'all were picturing. Getting further into it, why would a zajillionaire do this? My assumption now is that they were feeling philanthropic. I initially assumed that they did it for tax break reasons, which is an assumption I saw a lot of people had, but apparently loaning something out to a museum is not deductible, so I don't know. And then lastly, is it morally weird that a private entity can own a portion of prehistory that's relevant to all of mankind? And the answer, at least for me, is absolutely, but it's sadly also kind of how the world we're living in works, and it's how a lot of museums have the nicer things that they get to showcase to the public. In the end, I wouldn't jump to villainize the museum for selling to a private paleontology organization, and good news, it sounds like the dino is staying in the public eye. It is a little concerning that we're seeing more and more fossils enter private collections, but we'll just have to see how that pans out.